Welcome to another episode.
What is this I'm looking at on the bottom screen?
What are you looking at on the bottom screen?
Yeah.
Oh, right here. These are some of the slides we're going to bring up for the show.
Oh,
that's pretty.
okay.
It's pretty cool.
Need to know why that exists.
We will talk about that. See, so you got to stick around to find out what this picture is that he's looking at. That he's trying to figure out what is that.
I guess I'd better get to work here. What'd you put up already?
I have just said hello, and that's about it. So I have not put up anything. So go ahead and start putting up some comments. Welcome everybody to the WDWpov Live Stream Show. This is episode, so there's a big one, episode 130 of the WDWpov Live Stream Show. Hello out there, everybody. Hello, Caleb. Hello, Annette from the Jersey Shore. Pat, good old puzzle guy. Orange Cone. Ross is out there. We got Anthony out there. We're getting a good crowd up here. So welcome to the show. This is going to be a special guest edition. We're going to have for you tonight Beci Mahnken, who is from.
I'm sorry. That's all the flair you give?
No. We'll talk a little bit first before we bring her on. But we're going to have Beci on with us. She's from MEI-Travel and also Mouse Fan Travel. So she knows a lot about, planning trips to Disney and things like that. But we're going to be talking. Nice. We're going to be talking tonight about the Galactic Starcruiser. She was on the Maiden Voyage of the Galactic Starcruiser. So she got the first taste of what that whole thing entails and what it's like. And then we'll ask her some questions. So if you guys, start thinking up some questions you might want to ask Beci, we'll hit her up with some questions just to find a little bit more about her and what makes her tick. This is gonna be a fun show. I think we're gonna start it off though. I know Beci is in the green room now, so we'll keep her there for just a few minutes as she eats some snacks that we sent over to her. No, not really, but
holographic snacks. You mean
holographic snacks? Here you go. Here's some snacks. We'll give her here. How about this? We'll give her a little glass of Gaston. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna help.
There we go. Always got to get Gaston in there. Yeah, hope you have snacks for her. Unfortunately, we did not. We're not that well prepared. So
it wasn't in the budget.
It wasn't in the budget. Yes.
We had to make budget cuts to hire a Mr. Editor.
Are you Mr. Editor?
Yes, I am Mr. Editor.
Are you Mr. Editor? No, you're just the editor.
What you just said.
No, you're just the editor. Okay, Mr. Editor.
I'm Mr. Editor.
No, just editor. That's an inside joke, gang.
Not
we
really
probably
inside.
Don't get it. But as we were talking about, Beci's going to be joining us and telling us about all of that good fun stuff. We did. I'm not going to dwell on this long, but we did see Turning Red. We watched that the first day it came out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a teenage girl, I suppose you'll be able to relate to it a lot more. There were a couple of scenes that I could relate to, but it's an interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a boy, you might have a little trouble with it, but it's interesting. But we don't want to let Beci have to sit too long, do we?
How long is she going to be on for?
She can be on as long as she wants, as long as we're done by 9:00.
As long as she wants.
As long as she wants.
As long as it's before 9:00.
Until it's 9:00. Then the pumpkin, the glass slippers are all that's left. The carriage turns into a pumpkin and all that stuff. So Mary says she didn't enjoy Turning Red.
My favorite part was like in the last 25 minutes.
Oh, she has 25 minutes left to watch. Okay. Well, we won't give it away to you then.
I didn't say I like it.
Finish.
I just said my favorite part was in the last 25 minutes.
You finish it up. Maybe Nevaeh enjoys. I don't know. There were a few scenes that were a little scary for me, and I'm an adult, so I'm just saying. Okay, well, no further ado. Should we get right into it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to give Becky a fair warning here. We're going to be bringing her on in a second. But again, welcome our special guest, Beci Mahnken, who's with, as I mentioned before, MEI-Travel and the Mouse Fan Travel agencies. And the end, was that your favorite? And yes, the end was the favorite part of the movie. So
to introduce our guest star. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
That would be good though for future guests. You should do that. We'll do a little bit of Kermit the Frog.
Can we get a cardboard cutout that has a hole in it?
You could.
Okay.
Kermit the Frog thing. Anyway, 5, 4, 3. I'm going to give her a warning. 2, 1. We're bringing her on. Becky, there
Hi.
she is.
Fair warning. Let's see. The snacks were great.
Were there any really weirdly dyed snacks that you had to eat while you were waiting?
Everything's green for
Green?
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, green. Oh, yeah. Now everything's
Patrick.
green.
And it was also round for Pie Day.
That would have been great. That would have been awesome. I'm imagining in my mind the complete spread of snacks that are in the green room.
Did you happen to see Disneyland? I believe it was the Disney foodie. It was a Disney foodie post, on the Disney Parks blog just a day or two ago, and they were showing all the green snacks and foods that they're offering for St. Patrick's Day this week. They had, and I think I've seen this before. Basically, it was a corn dog, but the corn outside the batter, thank you, was green. I mean, green.
I'm good. I can celebrate St. Patrick's Day without having green food. Then discolors your mouth and you've got green lips for the rest of the day. I'm good.
Okay. So we agree on that. Yeah, this thing looked horrendous though. Oh my God. They had it cut in half and you could see the hot dog in the middle and the green outer coating.
Well, they've made quite a business out of food at Disney. So
they do.
And if you've ever been to Japan in the parks there, the food is so cute. It's not just colored.
That's just a Japan thing.
Good. It's cute food. So you look at these cute little bao buns with eyes that are staring up at you, and you don't want to eat it because it's so cute, but it's so yummy at the same time.
Unless, of course, you're doing a Disney short, and then you have the mother eat the bao bun, which actually was like a kid. It was, I don't know, it was weird.
It was metaphorical.
It was metaphorical, though, yes. It was a little weird when it happened.
But that's just an in general Japan thing, to make all your food cute.
He loves Japan. He loves all stuff about the culture of Japan, and he could tell you so much about that country. Never been there, but that's a bucket list item.
It was a huge bucket list for me. I was the same. I love the culture. I love everything about the history of Japan. And if the fact that there's a awesome Disney park there didn't hurt either.
Disney Sea.
Yeah.
And I got over there. I finally got to visit everywhere from Kyoto back up to Tokyo Disney Sea. Loved every minute of it. Can't wait to go back. It's one of my very favorite places on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a bucket list item. Hey, maybe we could talk to you sometime about travel arrangements.
Just have to figure out time of year.
Time of the year and that. Oh, yeah. So anyway, how are you, Becky? I mean, we didn't even get to say hi to you, really. We just popped you on, and then we just started talking about green hot dogs and all kind of weird stuff.
After you hang around at WDW Radio so much, it's all about the snacks. So that's kind of where everything goes to right off the bat. So I feel right at home. Doing fantastic. I'm home, which is kind of a rare thing for me. I get to actually be here for 6 whole weeks, which means I have to, do things like spring cleaning. But I'm really glad to be able to spend some time here to do some projects for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel to get my agents ready for spring and summer too, and for all the travel craziness that's going on right now, and preparing for the craziness that's coming next. So everything is going great.
Well, yeah, I know you did the maiden voyage of the Galactic Starcruiser, and then we talked. I messaged you, and then it was like, hey, could we have you on that last Monday? And you were already on another cruise, so it's like, okay. Well,
I went from one maiden voyage to another. I went from the Starcruiser to the maiden voyage of the Wonder of the Seas with Royal Caribbean, and I just got home night before last.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice. Well, and speaking of, and let me see if I could say it right. Let me do this properly. WW Radio. You got to say it really quick. WW Radio. I don't know how Lou does it. He says that so fast every time he says it.
I trip over it. As a matter of fact, we did a show with Dan Zier from Coffee with Kenobi about the Starcruiser, and I was trying to say WWW, but I was like WW. I sometimes show up on WDWpov Radio, and he just said, "Not anymore, you don't." So
www.wdw radio.
WDW Radio. It's a tongue twister to me.
Well, and I did do one thing here for you tonight. I've done this a few other times, actually, in tribute to Lou. You can see I let my whiskers grow a few days here because he's always got that 3 or 4 day growth on him somehow.
Okay, you are around. Seriously, we do these day things together, and we'll meet up in the morning, and there's been times that we've had 6-hour-long meetings. And I swear, like, normal people would grow that hair, that facial hair, in maybe 4 days. 4 hours you get the Mongello shadow.
it's the Italian.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So anyway, so you went to the initial maiden voyage of the Galactic Starcruiser.
Yep.
Okay. And I know a lot of us would have loved to have been in your shoes. How did that all work? I mean, did you do that through your travel agency then, or how did you book that?
Well, this one was out of my pocket. I purchased this. I went on my own with actually the Mongello family, and we paid for it up front because the maiden voyage was something, you do get these opportunities, and we're very blessed to be able to do some of the media events and see things before they actually open up to the public. However, I personally like to actually attend when it's actually for the public, because then you really get to see what the experience is rather than being shown what they want you to see and how they want you to experience it. So it was important for me to get on the very first one to see what the experience was really going to be like. I know Lou did get on one of the media events beforehand, which was great because he got a little bit of a primer. I, however, did not. I get to get my preview in July, so I get to go well after the fact. Disney's being very gracious in giving me the opportunity to see it on their dime under the media or under the preview guys. But this one we went for the maiden voyage, and I'm really glad I did, because as we all know, it's been kind of beaten up in the press from the moment that it was somewhat released. And I completely understand why people would react the way that they have to it. But in all honesty, when it was first announced, what was so exciting to me was that, back up a second. They talked about it as being the Star Wars hotel.
Right. Yeah. That's what threw me off.
Yeah. That was weird. I mean, the way it changed, but yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. But it's so far from a hotel. And I'm so glad that we were able to figure out that that's really not what it is at all. They could have gone that way. They could have gone just for the money and said, okay, we're going to have a hotel that's themed Star Wars that's right next to Galaxy's Edge, and bring people in and just let them sleep in a Millennium Falcon bed. They could have gone that way. They didn't. And I'm really glad they didn't, because what we ended up with was an experience that's part live video game, part dinner mystery theater, part escape room, part cruise.
It's called role playing.
Yeah,
definitely. It's definitely a role playing experience. Part cruise, part resort stay. And as I heard about it, it was more than anything a disruptor in the travel industry. It is this notion that you can walk into this movie or into this story, and you could be part of the story. Not only can you be part of it, but you can write your own script throughout the whole thing.
That's practically what they said Galaxy's Edge was going to be when they revealed it.
Right.
In a way, yes. I mean, Because Galaxy's Edge, when you walk into that section of Hollywood Studios,
you can't see anything else.
Yeah, you're there. You're in Star Wars. I mean, you're just in that world.
Exactly. So you've basically walked onto the set as you do at Cars Land in Disneyland. Same feel. You're walking into Radiator Springs there. So this took it a whole step further. And then, and I keep saying this, I don't like the word immersed because it's so overused that it's an immersive experience. But this truly is, where if you allow yourself to believe that you're going to space and you're part of the story, you can really convince yourself that you're going into space because it feels that real. Cool. It's an amazing thing that they've put together here. The thought process was so well done. And when you board the ship, you're going into a transport. And I love the way they've set this up. When you arrive, the valet guy takes your car. You hand off your luggage to the porters, just like you would on a regular cruise. You enter you go through security, actually, so it feels like you're going on a cruise, and then you're given a safety video right beforehand. So it really feels like you're going through these steps. You board the transport, and the transport has video going on that looks like you are actually flying to the ship. And it's almost like the restaurant with Space 220, where you're, watching the video as you're ascending to the space station.
I haven't been there, so no way to relate those two together.
But no, okay. From what I've seen, though, from what I've seen about that, Space 220 is, again, the overword, immersive word, but
yeah, I wish there was another word beside immersive, but this one truly fits where others saying it's an immersive experience for 15 seconds. This is an immersive experience for 3 days. And when you get off the transport, the doors open up and you walk into the atrium, and it's amazing.
Yeah, in fact, there is the atrium right there.
Exactly. And I love the way, so many people have been upset because it's not Star Wars, because it's not dirty and grungy like you would find on the Millennium Falcon. But it's the story behind it. This is a luxury Star Cruiser that has been refurbished to the latest luxury that you can have in the galaxy.
Right. And I just looked up immersive synonyms.
Oh, we got some synonyms here. Let's see what we have. What else? What else do we have here? Synonyms. Go for it.
Come on.
Oh,
no.
He'll keep looking.
Give me a second.
It looked like it was gonna give us what we wanted, but anyway.
What Mary is saying, it is intense, and I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. As you can see behind me, I'm more of a Mandalorian fan.
That was actually a question I had for you too. Is how much of a Star Wars fan do you put yourself on that spectrum?
People want it to be dirty. Well, yes.
People wanted it to be like Millennium Falcon. So if you watch the movies, it does have a not dirty, but not exactly a luxury experience.
People want it. People despise anything prequel looking.
Yeah.
Prequel looking. Okay.
That sounds good. So if you notice here, it's very industrial. It's very clean and sleek and luxury.
Now this was one of the things, and I hope that they change it if it's not already changed. Now, did they do during the preview? There were videos released that had it was like a little battle between Rey and what's his face?
Ben Driver.
Ben Driver. Thank you.
Anyway,
Ben and Rey have this.
You can't even remember his Sith name.
I don't
exactly.
Yeah. So, and they do this little battle scene with their lightsabers. Did they do that on this cruise for you?
Do we really want to give away spoilers?
Well, no. You don't have to tell anything, but they did actually show a video of that after the preview. So I don't think it's so much a spoiler. I mean, it's something they were going to do.
As you can imagine, when you board somewhere along the line in the 2 days that you're there, the 2.5 days that you're there, something horribly goes wrong.
Of course, it has to. It's Star Wars.
Yes.
Something always major goes wrong.
Exactly.
That's what I would expect.
There is a battle that does ensue.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, I don't want you to give away more than that, but but they showed Rey was like right about here, standing there, and Ben Driver was over here, and Rey, she has got the fancy lightsaber that actually extends as it's being activated, which is really cool. I've seen them before. They're very realistic looking. And then she proceeds to literally bend down, put her hands on the ground up there. You can't really see what's up there because it's on a platform. And she's clearly dropping down, puts the one lightsaber down. She's grabbing another one. It's a battle type lightsaber that they can use and hit and not have any problems with. Right. I understand the one could not be used for the actual hitting and swinging.
It's for display only.
It's for display only. Yes, just like Toy Story 2. But my suggestion, if any Imagineers are out there listening or watching tonight, first thing both of us said is, couldn't they have had like a beam or something, pillar, sort of like this right here? They've got a pillar. They could have had a pillar here, or maybe even start Rey over in this area. She does her lightsaber, and then as she walks across to meet her foe, basically just put your arm right, with the lightsaber, put it into that pillar, into a nice little sleeve or something, and grab another one that's the battle one that's already there and ready to go. A fairly, a good practiced person could put the one there and grab the other one in a fairly smooth motion and not have to bend down to the ground. That's just my suggestion for any Imagineers out there.
It's possible that they've already corrected that.
I hope they have, because we talked about it on a previous show, and we're like, really? Come on. Imagine. I mean, we're not Imagineers, but we figured it out. And
the big problem is they kept doing promotional videos saying they put all this time and effort into thinking how to make it as if, I'm not going to say the word,
immersive. Keep looking up those synonyms.
I think I found some.
Okay, good.
But they kept saying they put all this, the most amount of thought into making this, and we thought of something, an alternative in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure they have large teams of people working on these, which means I'm surprised not one of those people on those teams thought in 2 seconds of that alternative.
Yeah, there's got to be several other ways to do it too. So anyways, I'm sorry to digress there, but
no, that's okay. The funny part is, guys, with everything that I went through on board and how exhausted I was from everything I went through on board,
you didn't even care about the fight.
I didn't care. There's so much more to the experience than watching that battle. That is like so far in the back of my brain, from what it is. So I didn't even really pay attention.
Mesmerizing. There we go.
There's another word. Mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Enchanting. Hypnotic.
We
got synonyms.
Riveting. Enveloping.
Enveloping.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Enveloping.
So to finish answering the question before that came up was about the fandom. And I'm a big fan of 4, 5, and 6 because I grew up on it. 1977. I watched the movie. I'm all in. The other ones, I love the stories. They're, I can nitpick all I want about 1, 2, and 3, and
we all can. But
and
we
the
can
others exactly. So I'm totally gonna leave that alone. But personally, you don't need to have really watched any of the movies to enjoy this experience, especially if say your husband is big into Star Wars and you're really not, and your kids, maybe 1 or 2 of them are, some aren't. The family is going to have a great time together, whether you've watched the movies or not.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Otherwise you're limiting your audience quite a bit.
Correct. Which was always the concern about this, is you're going to put all this time, effort, money, and energy into creating this experience that is based on one IP. It has to be something that is going to appeal to the masses for it to have a long-term life, right? So it's built in such a way that, yeah, it exists in the Star Wars universe, but you don't have to know everything about Star Wars to enjoy it. It's more about what you're doing together with the people that you go with is the excitement.
Right. It's I'll use the word again. It's so immersive that it pulls you in no matter what.
No, it doesn't pull you in. It sucks you in
Okay.
into.
He has to do something for me real quick. He'll be right back.
No worries.
He's helping my youngest son, Jack. Has something he needs him to do for him real quick. So, as you can tell, our show is very relaxed, very I
like that. It lets me, just kind of go off on tangents, so it's perfect.
We do. As I think Mary sort of coined the phrase for our show a long time ago. Mary Wells, that we go off the rails a lot. So
I'm used to that.
That's okay. Yeah, that makes life interesting.
And I have to say hi to Stan too.
Oh yeah, Stan. He had some good ideas too about trying to have maybe Kylo. See, I do know his name, Kylo. Chase after Rey or something like that. So maybe she could do something to swap the lightsabers. And yeah, there's got to be different ways to make that happen better.
Yeah, I really wouldn't get too bogged down on that with everything.
I know. So this is the bridge area, and again, that one ill-fated video that they had that Disney put out.
Well, one thing you got to know about Disney is that they hate showing anything before it opens.
Right.
They hate it. So I think someone came along and said, well, we need to show them something to show the value, right? I think that's what probably occurred. And then someone said, great, you can do that, but you can't show them anything. So I think that video was a struggle. I may be totally wrong, but this is just my gut feeling that was a struggle between legal and marketing and sales and Imagineering all going, we need to show them something, but you can't show them anything.
Right.
And then that's what we ended up with.
That's what I felt like when I watched that video. It was like, oh boy, yeah, they're not really showing the value.
Exactly.
They're showing some things more antiseptically and maybe not in the best light.
Right. And I think there were some errors made with that. I think everybody can pretty much agree that was not as well done as it could have been. But knowing what I experienced, you don't want to give away anything, because part of the exhilaration is to discover these things around every corner and go on these missions and find the secrets and find the passageways and the rooms that you're not supposed to go into. All of these pieces, they can't show you on a video. Right. So I think that it was a mistake to try to do one to begin with. But then again, the internet was completely blasting something that no one had ever experienced yet, which was very unfair. So they were probably trying to come up with something to help alleviate the stress that was causing.
Okay. So looks like there's multiple levels on this
yes, there are.
Starcruiser, obviously.
Yeah, and you'll run a lot of stairs or you'll be in the elevators. It is ADA, by the way, so if you do have somebody that's in a wheelchair, they can get around really easily. Okay. That has come up as a couple of questions from some folks. As a matter of fact, one of the cast members on board was in a wheelchair, and that was actually pretty refreshing.
That's good to know. Now, you guys didn't need to wear masks, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
At that point, the mask mandate had been dropped. So it was not something that was necessary in any of the resorts or in any of the queues, et cetera. So masks were completely, you could wear them if you wanted to, obviously, but for the most part, people did not.
Right. Okay. And then this here looks like some kind of access panel. Is this in the room then?
Yes.
Okay.
So this was really cool. And one of the funnest things that I discovered about the cabins that are on board, there were 3 types. There's a standard cabin that sleeps 4 or 5 people. There's a 1-bedroom suite, the Galaxy Suite, which sleeps 4 people. And then there's a 2-bedroom suite, which is the Grand Captain Suite, which I shared with the Mongello family. And each of the bedrooms has this comm panel. And you get an M band or a magic band when you first arrive. That is.
Oh, is that what they call it? An M band?
M band, exactly.
An M band.
Yeah, it's the big thing with pretty much every theme park nowadays.
Well,
Exactly.
No, I mean, they're trying to make it because it's on a Starcruiser.
Yeah,
no,
so
I'm
it's
just
not
saying in
magic.
general for every experience now.
So when you walk into your room, each individual room, so like if you have a standard cabin, there's one comm panel. In the 2-bedroom suite, there's a comm panel in each of the bedrooms. You touch your magic band to the comm panel, and then that's what comes up. It welcomes you and recognizes you. And you are welcomed by the droid that talks to you from the comm panel. And she is so much fun. And the AI is interactive. You can ask her questions. You can answer her questions. And she knows a lot. She knows where you've been today. She knows where you're supposed to be going next. She'll even ask you questions, and she might even send you on a little mission now and then.
Right.
She'll sing a lullaby to you at night or tell you a bedtime story. So it's a lot of fun.
Now, I saw, if anyone's interested, I'm not going to show this here tonight, but if anyone's interested, they could jump over to your Facebook page, because I know I saw you had posted a maybe 11 or 12-minute long, I think it was a live stream at the time while you were on the voyage, where part of it you were showing the rooms, and then you did have a call or something that came in from one of your droid assistants. So
right.
If anyone wants to see that, there's a little snippet in there that you can watch after our show.
Yeah, when I could feel it like starting to give away spoilers, I cut it really quick and said,
I noticed you did. Yeah, I saw that, and you're like, okay, that's enough of that. So, okay, and then you had apparently like little button tags or something like that to identify people, passengers versus.
They give you this when you go for your shore excursion to Batuu, so that the citizens of Batuu can recognize you as a Starcruiser guest.
Okay.
And which is amazing. It's so well thought out. And one of the tips that I tell people all the time, don't skip Batuu. There's a lot of, I even thought this at first going, well, why do I need to go to Batuu? I'm there all the time. I've hung out there. What's going to be different? And I could stay on board and enjoy the ship. Don't skip Batuu, because when you're wearing that pin, other things happen to you. And there's new missions that you might be sent on. I was in Batuu for 4 hours or so and never did anything that I normally do, for the exception of doing the 2 rides, which are also somewhat interesting to go on when you are a passenger on the Halcyon.
Okay, so there's a little more interactivity or something that goes on there based on your stay on the Starcruiser. Okay, correct. That's interesting. And do they somehow, I did hear something about you take basically a transporter, they get you there. You know, you're not actually going through Hollywood Studios, obviously. They're keeping the immersion by transporting you, or I'm assuming it would be like when you're on a ship, you know, you go to...
you mean the enveloping?
The enveloping, smack. I did that when I was a kid once, and now I'm never going to live it down that I said enveloping. But when I was a kid, I was reading. They had us read different pages and stuff, and you'd read until you screwed up a word. And I'm reading, and I'm doing really good, and then I got to the word thermometer. I said thermometer. It was supposed to be thermometer, but you're reading the word. And anyway, it's an old. Yeah, one of those things you regret for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it sticks with you. I know.
But anyway, so they somehow then transport you there, so you're immersed still in the whole activity, like going to Castaway Key. Basically, you dock somewhere and then you debark. And
correct.
Then
you take a shuttle transport from the ship to the planet.
Okay, cool. That's good. I'm glad they're doing it that way. Okay, so this, I believe, is one of the standard beds. Yes, it is standard bed. I've got the
standard cabin. So in the grand suite that we were in that has the 2 different bedrooms, one of them has a queen bed by itself, and the other one is this. So it's just like a standard cabin would be, just attached to a living area. So you do have the 2 bunk beds and the queen bed. There's also a pull down bed, which comes out from underneath the comm panel as well, so you can sleep 5.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, that's
okay.
So that's a standard room. That would be something like.
Just a quick question, because from this angle, those bunk beds don't look too big.
Yeah, they don't. It definitely is kind of a misnomer there. Lou got in one of them and was fine and comfortable. So an adult can actually sleep in there and be comfortable. I think it's just the way the cutout is that makes it look a little smaller, but it really does accommodate an average size adult.
Yeah, that's a good question. So that's that room, which actually looks, I mean, sort of like you're on a cruise, basically. And then, this was the Welcome Mahnken and Mongello party. So you, like you said, you guys shared a room and like a whole suite, which was adjoined in some way. Right. Okay. So, this looks like, again, some comm panel, probably has information on it. This is one of those pull-out tables. Is that what this is here?
Yeah, and it's a great use of space. So if you needed more walk-around room, you could have that pushed into the wall. But if you wanted a laptop desk or some other table to sit at, I used it for my work because I use my laptop a lot. You just pull that table out from the wall, and then those are 2 chairs that you can pull out from the wall as well.
Yeah,
and those have storage in them too.
Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't realize that. And then your TV. Well, no, what did they call it? A TV?
a monitor. Which, as the shot that you showed just a couple of minutes ago with the Mahnken and Mongello party, that's our television set. So it turns into a TV, much like you can watch regular TV if you want, and the regular resort televisions, but it also functions as your map, your star map. That is the television remote that comes along with it, which is perfectly themed. I loved all of that detail, and they had that detail all through the entire cabin. Like the shampoo dispenser was completely themed. So they thought about everything to try to keep it to brand of the cruise line.
Okay. Oh, this I remember. I saw one of the live streams that Lou had done, and I remember he did this walkthrough and he showed this area right here.
Yeah.
This actually disturbed me a little bit.
I thought I would have loved. I want to know the backstory of why they decided to do that.
Is that a door?
Yes. It's a little cubby hole that goes from the living area that we're looking at right now into the master bedroom. So like your kids could crawl through that little cubby hole like in a sleep hatch. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is it's straight where the chair is in front of you. You might see a panel that says emergency on it, or the writing that's under the main star panel to the right.
Oh, over here?
No, over to the left, right above the chair.
Oh, right here?
Right there.
Okay.
So interestingly, if there is an emergency in your cabin, like a real emergency, a real live emergency, you actually open that door and you can call 911 from that location. And that's how they would get to you without going through, they wouldn't, bring in a stretcher or something into the Halcyon, which would be out of story. So that's how they would get to you in an emergency.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I think I saw that on one of your videos too, but go ahead. You had something?
No, it wasn't related to that. It was related to the tiny door.
Oh, the tiny door. Yeah. Well, here's what gets me. Okay. So you go through this tiny door.
What does that lead anywhere, or is it just a tiny door?
No, it takes you, like she said, to the master bedroom. But
is that a droid hatch? It's probably what it's supposed to be.
I think that's what they're sort of getting at, is it's like maybe a droid door. But here's my question. I remember someone saying you can lock it from each side.
Yes.
Like a shared door on a hotel room?
Like a shared door to hotel room, right?
Correct. Yep.
If I'm a little kid and I go in here and somebody shuts both of the doors and locks them, are they trapped?
No, I think it's locked from the outside. I don't think you can lock from the inside. I didn't see a lock. Well, I didn't check to see if there was a lock on the living room side, which is what we're looking at right now. There definitely is one on the other side, because I think Lou was telling his kids to, wake me up in the middle of the night. So I locked the door just in case. But
yeah,
the other thing too that's to point out in this particular picture, not only do you have that window that looks out into space that you can leave on, which also leaves the white lights on around it. So, but that's, I think, one of the design flaws, because so many of us wanted to turn off those lights but still be able to look into space to go to bed. Each one of the rooms has that window that peers out, but there's also a pull down bed that's on the left. You can kind of see it right under the television. That's actually another bed that pulls
down. Just like at the hotels.
Yep,
right,
exactly.
Right. That's perfect. Okay, so you've got quite a bit of room there. And yeah, just please, everybody, make sure if you lock these doors from the outside, that there is nobody in between them.
Also, that is quite a spacious looking couch.
It is. It is very spacious.
It is.
I mean, I could
lay right behind that is a bar area too. So this is the master bedroom, and as you notice, there's no bunks, but there is a closet in the background, and then you see that communications panel that I was talking about
right there. Okay,
and then very, very tiny bedside end tables.
Yes, yeah, they're pretty much meant more for a like your phone. And there was electrical outlets and USB ports in both sides.
I was just going to say, I hear that there are lots of USB ports in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes, there is.
Technology lined up very closely to ours.
It is a good thing that their technology is similar to ours. It is.
Indeed.
Okay. And now I know Stan had mentioned something about food. So here we go. We're getting into food here, Stan.
Yes.
Stan saying a little panic room with the hatch made me think, yeah.
Or zombie attack.
Zombie attack. Yeah, so now if you ask me where I want to go in the zombie attack, it's going to be the Starcruiser, I think.
Can never be too safe. So this is one of the main dining rooms.
It is the main dining room.
It is the main dining room. Okay.
That is where you're going to go for your breakfast, lunch, and your dinner seating. And just like a cruise, there is a first seating and a second dinner seating. So you're either going to go at, I think, 5:30 and 8 o'clock, something like that.
And then I'm sure Stan wants this as well, the bar area.
Didn't you tell me that one of Lou's kids said something about...
Well, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. That's coming up on one of the future pictures here. Yeah. I'll tell. Oh, yeah. This is okay. So I'm not going to... I'm jumping from restaurant to bar here, but I just wanted to bring up, okay, there's Gaia.
There's Gaia. And
how was she? Because I know that video didn't do her any justice.
No, she's amazing. The vocal talents of this woman are literally out of this world. She is amazing and such a great part of the show, the overall show, not just the dinner club, the supper club experience that you get on the first night. She does play a part, just like you walk on board this ship. And there are characters like there would be on board a cruise ship. You have a cruise director, you have a captain, you have a mechanic, you have all kinds of people to interact with when you board, which is really important that you start talking to them. And if you are an introvert, like I can tend to be, it's a little out of my comfort zone, but I decided, you know what? I paid a lot of money. I want to see this before. So I'm not going to sit back and watch everybody else have the fun.
I'm an introvert and I play a lot of video games with our RPG specifically, where it's there's a person over there, go talk to them.
Right.
Okay, I'll talk to everybody to get all of the flavor text.
Exactly. And that's why I say it's like a video game. You're walking into a video game, an RPG, because you have to seek out these people and talk to them. There's also times where to complete a mission, which you're given through your data pad, that you have to group together with some other passengers and to make things happen. So there's a lot of interactive here. And I think that's what was so exhausting, is that the moment you get there, it starts, it begins, and it doesn't end until you leave.
Well, I know we've done a couple of Disney cruises, and I know on the one cruise, we didn't touch half the stuff that was available on that ship. I mean, I remember we got done with the cruise and it was only a 3-day cruise. It was for social media.
I recall some of the activities for people my age went until like 4 a.m.
Yeah, we were like, oh my goodness. We were like going the whole day, but we couldn't do everything that was going on there. Okay, so okay, here's some breakfast items.
Actually, that's snacks.
Oh, those are snacks. Okay.
Yes, you and your green room can learn something from this. So a lot of people are wondering, well, what do I get to eat if between dinner and lunch, and if
Why are there
I'm
actual
hungry?
goldfish?
So so they have this display of snacks that you can just go over, grab what you want. You can
Why are
eat
they
it there.
actually goldfish?
The goldfish in space. Why are
There's
you?
goldfish in space. Clearly. Hello.
I'm surprised they're not Mickey heads in space, though.
Oh, now that might have been
Didn't see any.
Imagineers.
Any.
Listen to him.
You literally make them yourselves and sell them in your stores.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's good that they didn't, just because you don't want to bring in the Disney branding, I think, at that point. But
now I'm seeing Pepperidge Farms.
Pepperidge Farms may exist in space. Right?
That's true. They might.
We need to call someone at Pepperidge Farm about this.
So this is one of the things that that a lot of people are asking about. But they do have snacks out pretty much all the time. So if you do want snacks, take it back to your room. There are things there to snack on.
Okay, so there's some in between stuff. Now we've got the blue and the green milk. Yep. I prefer the blue personally.
Me too.
On Batu, but the green just was a little, I don't know, too bitter or something for me. But I'm okay with.
These are the exact things that you would get at Galaxy's Edge.
Well,
yes.
It's
the Galaxy's Edge blue and green milk. However, it's maybe where sometimes I've been there and it's had little pieces of ice in it. These did not.
Okay.
So I am a blue milk person as well. But this is where you can have this at breakfast or at lunch. They do have this available to you, so you can come in and get your blue and green milk. And there was a point in time where Deanna and I decided we wanted to have a cocktail, and so we created one of our own with blue milk and had them put in some rum just to make a space cocktail. So
interesting.
What if you mixed blue milk and green milk together?
I've never done that, and I don't think I want to. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I don't know, what does blue and green make? Yeah, not much. Okay, so we've got some breakfast.
Slightly bluer green.
Yeah.
This is what I loved most of all. They were so creative in the breakfast and lunch experiences are both buffet type scenarios, but they have these pre-plated choices for you that you go and you get a tray that fits these little trays. So
apparently Stan's mixed the two together.
Oh, has he?
No, thank you. This is like a little bento box that you create for your food. And the portions are perfect. So if you want to try one of everything, it makes for a pretty good breakfast if you do that. Or you can get 2 or 3 things of the exact same thing if you like it.
Okay. Now what Marcus was mentioning earlier about when we were watching the live stream with Lou and his son was on with them.
How are you liking your data pad?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he made a comment about the data pad or whatever. No, never mind. But when they started to go eat and they got to the buffet area, I remember he's like, "Hey, this is like cabanas in space." And if anybody's been on a Disney cruise, you know what cabanas is. It's like the first place, probably the first restaurant that almost everybody goes to because it's the only one that's really open as you get on board. And it's just basically a big giant buffet area where you just basically can have almost anything you want. So was this a cabanas in space for breakfast?
It definitely is. You walk up, you pick a tray, you put the tray on your tray, and then you find out how much space you have. Like this one, I had 3 spots to put trays in, but notice I got a little extra because it's me. What I loved more than anything is the food, both on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had high expectations that it wasn't going to just be, chicken nuggets in space. And I'm so glad it wasn't. And they elevated the food to a level of I was really impressed. I was so impressed. The choices were wonderful. They handle allergies like they always do at Disney so well. Mm-hmm. But the dining experiences were elevated and made part of the experience. That's part of the value that I see in the pricing. Mm-hmm. Is the meals that you're eating. And this definitely met my expectations, if not exceeded it.
Right. Nice. And then this was just a place setting sample here. And there we go.
The infamous blue shrimp.
Why is everything blue?
It's
you know
space.
What? It's space. Blue shrimp in space. And I there was some internet comment. It's like, that it's so bad that it made it taste bad with the blue coloring. It's like, it's shrimp. It's just shrimp, and it's really good. It just happens to be colored blue, but there's no taste difference. It's just a wonderful detail that they made, so it seems out of otherworldly.
Right. Yeah, that's what I had heard too. I read somewhere that somebody said the dye made it taste a little funky or whatever.
People can taste food dyes.
Some people can. Yeah, some people can.
I can notice stuff like red dye and stuff.
But I'm thinking, I don't know, Disney probably used some kind of natural something,
They have been using stuff like beets and
different
red coloring.
Natural.
So.
Right.
There was a person that one of Lou's friends had an allergy to food coloring, and she pretty much could eat everything because most of the colors were all natural.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering what your take would be on how those tasted.
Let's just hope that they make some sort of alternative to get these food items that don't require spending $6,000 for a 2-day hotel stay.
I would love to see them do this type of experience with the little bento box thing that you can select from the buffet. I would love to see that as a restaurant somewhere on Disney World property, because it was really good. It was creative. It was everything that you think about in a Disney experience. So I would like to see that. But, I know that the price is something that everybody is debating. And we did a show with Lou, and he on his show, he did a great job of breaking down the price and the value that you're getting for the price. And once you think about it individually in little pieces,
right,
it's actually less that you're paying than you would if you were going to go and do it individually.
Exactly. I mean, that's we were talking about this before the show tonight, and I had thought about this also back months ago when the prices originally came out, and everybody was like, eyes wide, like, oh my goodness, that's that's crazy.
My only main takeaway is, compared to this, you're trapped in it for 2 days.
Well,
whereas with the other options, you could feasibly do whatever you want.
Did you feel trapped?
No,
she was too tired to feel trapped.
She was too tired to feel
trapped. It was so amazing because they keep you going with all of the missions and all the communications and all the trainings and all of the experiences. I never felt trapped. I never felt claustrophobic. I never felt like I wanted to leave. As a matter of fact, like I said, I didn't want to get off to go to Batu because everything was so amazing. And you have a little bit of that FOMO where I'm afraid to miss out because so much was going on all the time. And when you get the data pad and you start talking to people and you start selecting your journey, it's basically because in the communications, you answer questions. The characters reach out to you and you're reaching out back to them with responses. And how your responses go is the experience you're going to have. So I did missions that somebody else in our party didn't do because they answered the questions differently. So there are different paths you can take, and I can return in a week.
Is that a multiple choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are different things. There were things that we found out later of missions and things that happened that we didn't get to do because we didn't choose those selections.
Right.
So part of me, I'm really excited about going back because I'm going to do the other, answer differently and see what I missed.
I still don't think I've gotten through all the video possibilities at the end of missions Spaceship Earth. As you're going backwards down the thing and you're seeing, do you like the country or the city? Do you want this or this? But anyway, price wise, I sort of broke it down in my head too, was, okay, it's 2.5 days. You are getting passage to Batu, which basically is, sort of like having a park pass for part of the day. All the food is included. It's like being on a cruise. So, and it's split up, between, several people.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, once you say go to Disney for, a couple of days, 2, 3 days, yeah, it was fairly comparable as far as the pricing. So,
Right, and for what you're getting, I mean, think about if you go to see a show somewhere, if you go to see a Broadway show, you're going to pay a couple $100 a ticket for 2 hours, and this is 2 full days of a show
the whole
unfolding in
thing is
front of
one
you.
big thing. Yeah, one big
Exactly.
show.
And
With
the
no
other
intermission.
question exactly. Yeah, well, except for the nights you get to sleep, and for some of us, it was only like 4 hours because we wanted to get up and start doing the things again.
Oh man, no, I don't think I could do that.
Awesome.
I could do that. I could
the
do that.
other
That's like me
question
going to rope drop and then staying till the end of the park closing and,
Yeah.
good night kiss and all that.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you go to sleep and you get up and you do the next park. That's exactly how it feels. The other question we get a lot is it worth it?
Yeah.
And the only way anybody can answer that question, and I've seen some bloggers attempt, and I've seen some people on some of the videos that I avoided like the plague until I actually got to go myself.
Mhm.
But the only person that can tell you that is you. No one's going to be able to tell you the value of something for you,
Right.
because you decide what you spend your money on or what you're willing to save money for,
Yeah,
and how you
think of a
spend
lot
it.
of things to spend $6,000 on.
Yeah, and then you might, have certain things you want to spend the money on, and someone else is going to spend it on something else. So yeah.
Yeah, and you keep saying the 6,000. I want to make sure people know that that's for like a party of 4.
Right,
So
right.
if you're a party of 2, that definitely comes down. So
Right.
it depends on how many people you have in the party.
Yeah. In fact, I think, the larger the party, the, technically more economical it ends up being.
Correct.
It's not incrementally more expensive for every person. The incremental
Like a
price.
cruise. It's priced like a cruise.
Exactly. So this was a dessert here. I don't know exactly what that is, but
It was yummy.
it was yummy. That's what it was.
Chocolate yummy thing that I had to take a picture of because it's the logo of the Starcruiser. And
Oh, okay.
and it was chocolate. And who could say no to chocolate?
Yeah.
So amazing.
Can't have bad chocolate.
You can. It's called wax.
It's called wax. Yeah. We've only got a few minutes left. Becky, I thought we were going to get through this and then we were going to ask you other questions and put you on a hot seat and ask you what your favorite this is and what your we might have to have you back on again some night if you wouldn't mind, maybe down the road.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to do that.
It seems she already had some counter answers to questions like that too.
What's that?
What was your favorite this?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. No, but we've really enjoyed having you on tonight. I would definitely like to have you back on some other night. And of course, just like, like every ride and attraction and everything, you have to have merch, right? You got to have the merch to go with it.
Exactly. And there was plenty to feast your credit card on,
just like the actual cruises.
Yeah, just like the actual cruises.
Exactly.
Right?
You can only buy this thing on this cruise.
It's limited edition. Can only get it here. Yep.
Correct. And the big 2 things that people buy are the hilt that is limited only to the Halcyon. So you have to be a Halcyon guest to actually purchase it. They have that, and they also have a shield that is only available to people who are on. There's pins, there's pens, there's cups, there's glasses, that's the shield right there. As a matter
there
of
you
fact.
go.
There's the Halcyon that you can get that's only available to those who are sailing. So there's all kinds of different purchases to take home for you to remember your wonderful 3-day exhausting experience. And exhausting in a good way. I just keep wanting to point that out. It was I smiled and giggled and turned into a 9-year-old and had an amazing time the entire time that I was there.
That is awesome. And like I said, we are running short on time. Well, not short on time, but
we got 1 minute left.
We are getting to the end of our show, Becky. But I have in our YouTube account on the YouTube channel, we did post your link here that's been scrolling by off and on during the show at the bottom of the screen here. MEI, let's see, MEI-travel.com. If you want to find, more about Beci and her travel agency, and she's one of the biggest, one of the best out there. So, give her a shot if you're looking to do some kind of Disney trip in the future, or even other places, not just Disney, but you guys handle all over the place.
We do all cruise lines, all destinations. Disney and cruises are our specialty, but we definitely can. If you want to go to Hawaii, I can get you there. If you want to go to France, we can do that too. Just to throw in there too, we are a no fee agency, so our services cost you nothing. And we also, if you're a cruiser, if you cruise on any cruise line, we have a proprietary technology that once we've booked you, your booking is in our system, and our system goes out and proactively looks at the cruise lines to see if the price goes lower. And if it does, it lets us know and we adjust the rate proactively.
Okay, great. And I just posted in the comments on both YouTube and Facebook, you can find Beci and her travel services, MEI-Travel Mouse Fan Travel, and the link is there as well in the comment section.
Thank you.
So again, we very much enjoyed having you on tonight. We would love to have you on a follow-up show, just to maybe just find out a little bit more about you and just shoot the breeze for a while, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Just let me know when. Catch me when I'm home. It's probably the best.
Yeah. Well, you got a few. Yeah, you got 6 weeks, and then you're gone again. So that's.
If any of your listeners want to reach out to me, I'm always available via Facebook Messenger. Please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions or to match you with one of our vacation planners.
Okay, great. Well, again, Beci, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We just wish you a magical night, magical week. So again, we're a minute over, but that's okay. We're
Thank
fine.
you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh man, that was fun. That was fun. So we got to sing it out then. You ready?
I suppose
you're ready to sing it out. And again, thanks for everybody who was watching tonight. Again, had a great time talking with Beci. So check out her site that's been going across there. And I'm sure if you've got a trip you need planned, she can do one heck of a job for you. So what's this? She needs to bring her own snacks. Yeah, we'll try and deal with the snacks maybe by the next time she's on the show. But again, thanks everybody for being here. And we're going to sing it out, and we'll see you next week. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. MIC, see you real soon. KEY, why? Because we like ya. MOUSC. Again, thanks everybody. Thank you very much, Beci, for being our guest tonight and putting up with us for an hour. And have a great magical week, everybody. And again, remember, sharing is caring. Go ahead and share a group with your friends, your Disney friends, your family, and just appreciate you all out there. And we love having you with us as part of our extended Disney family. Take care, and we'll see you next Monday night. Good night.